Welcome back to Two Daddies Judging Baddies.
Judging Baddies.
The podcast that pretty much says we have smosh at home.
I like to think of it as we say what you are thinking while you're reading it. We try to
think
be
so?
your conscious. We're your conscience, like inside your brain, what it's thinking.
I think we're definitely the Reddit podcast that we don't worry about sponsors when we give our takes, and I think people like that. I think people do enjoy that. We're poor because of it, but you get good takes.
Two daddies, judging baddies.
Think you're gonna start off this shindig, aren't you?
Yeah, so just before we start, though, just remember that if you follow and or rate the podcast, it really helps us out and really helps other people get to share in this wonderful world of Two Daddies Judging Baddies with you, and it just helps everything chug along.
It slowly but surely cures our erectile dysfunction.
Does it?
Yeah.
That's going to be the thing that fixes it for us?
That is, yeah.
Awesome. All right, so mine, it comes from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. Am I the asshole for leaving my friend at the brewery when he brought up something that haunts me?
Look, I try to be a very, empathetic, understanding person. But when people word things, I'm just like, come on, bro. Come on, dude.
Well, what if he brings up Sparkly Man?
I don't care. You talking about Papa touching my butthole.
I ain't leaving you at the brewery.
I ain't going to leave you at the brewery.
What would make you leave somebody at the brewery? Going to a brewery?
Yeah.
You don't want to be there.
So, the guy next to me is talking really passionately about IPAs. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to get the fuck out of here.
Just Irish goodbye, just dip.
That's my favorite. You see it. Anytime we go to any event or anything like that, if I go to the sushi thing tonight, I ain't going to tell somebody I'm leaving. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah, I always just say bye to everybody. But Mike's like, sneak out. Where'd Mike go?
Bro, when Dylan fucking stops to talk to people while we're walking or something like that, and I just like have to do the little keep stepping. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think on the 4-block walk from our studio to the arts theater yesterday, I think I ran into like 3 people along the way that stopped and talked to me.
Yeah, we're doing ideas to save the Davidson County Arts Council.
Mm-hmm.
So if you or anybody you know has $50,000, you can send it to the Arts Davidson.
Well, anything in between there too is fine too.
Yeah, North Carolina. Yeah, I don't know any of the links that they use for donations, but
I think Google works for Arts Davidson.
yeah, if you Google Arts Davidson in Lexington, North Carolina, if you want to send some money their way, they would very much appreciate it.
Yeah, they don't get any support, like any financial support from the city and or county. The only place they get their funding from is from the state directly, and they have to raise enough money to match the dollars that the state gives them. So
Yeah, we live in a county where they 100% believe the arts are for the gays, so
100%. All right, so am I the asshole for leaving my friend at the brewery when he brought up something that haunts me? A few years ago, while on a hike with my wife, she slipped and fell. I was not able to get her up. For those of you who are familiar with this place, it on the 14er group out of Chicago Basin. I don't know what a 14er is.
his bitch fell down a mountain.
Yeah. So it was very stressful. Thankfully, another man was able to get her out, but it was hours later.
A real man who's not going to leave a brewery because their friend brought up something that haunts them. I like to think the guy that saved him. I'm so sorry for cutting off your story. But he's like, God damn, buddy, just pick her up. Like, she's sitting there crying for you. Just grab her hand. Look, get the fuck out of my way. And he just, like, helps her up.
Well, yeah, but, like, it's, like, super dangerous. So, like, he could have tried to help her and then died as well. So I think there's, like, when you're trying to, like, get down and pull somebody up, it is a very dangerous activity. So you do have to be a very prepared person.
Dilly McSquilly, if your wife falls on a mountain, you going to let another man save her?
Well, she's currently safe. Like, she's currently safe. She's just stuck. So, like, she's not continuously fall. Like, he's not like, fuck you, bitch, just fall down the rest of the way. She's in a safe spot. She just can't make it up from where she's at. And
then a guy just rolls up and he's like, he throws a hook in and he's just like, I got her, brother.
No.
You stay here. And he just goes down all gloriously.
Well, there's like multiple people that I know that died in the gorges up in where I grew up because people tried to climb back down to save somebody, and then they slipped and fell, and they fell to the bottom. And so, like, the person that was needing saved eventually got saved, but the person trying to save them died. So,
You know that place too had a bunch of, hey, please don't play in the fucking gorges. You'll die.
yeah, don't climb them. It's
Yeah.
so dumb. Do
And
not
then people
climb
are
them.
just like, I'm gonna do it, and then they die. And I'm like, it's like people that go into bear country and get mauled by a bear.
Yeah.
It's bear country. I don't know. You could tell, bro. White people will not step foot in the hood. But if you're like, hey man, there's 1,000-pound dogs out there that are ready to fuck you up at a moment's
They just like
notice.
to eat you.
Yeah. And they don't kill you before they eat you. They just start eating you. They're like, fucking sign me up. So I'll take a big can of pepper spray with me, and that'll protect me from that 1,000-pound dog half to 50% of the time.
1,000-pound pit bull. Because it's
Yeah.
not just any regular dog.
Yeah, not any
it's
regular dog. It is the dog. It is the dog.
Sorry, pit bull people. I was trying to get Mike all stirred up there. on ya.
Anytime somebody goes to Yellowstone National Park, they need to play that scene from The Revenant where Leonardo DiCaprio just gets absolutely mauled by that bear. Not a thing you can do.
What is it? Black bears are not the scary ones, and grizzlies are the ones that will just eat you.
No, polar bears technically are the only ones that will actively go and eat you. A grizzly bear, when it mauls I know so many bear facts. I fucking love bears. I will never go around them, though, because I'm not stupid. But grizzly bears, 9 times out of 10, when they maul somebody, it's territorial. You're around their cubs or whatever. Black bears, 9 times out of 10, when they attack somebody, it is predatory. They want to eat you.
Oh, black bears.
Yeah,
are the
black
ones.
bears
Okay.
they're not really like, oh, I'm going to fuck this person up for being in my territory like a grizzly bear will. But if a black bear attacks you, he probably wants to eat you. So,
All right, so she has never been upset with me, or did I get to finish that before? Yeah. But it was hours later, and she had been perched on a cliff under the drop site. She has never been upset with me for not being able to help her out by myself. We are both avid, experienced hikers, but I am not a strong guy, and she is a sturdy gal. That's a good way to put it.
that's a good way to put it.
She's a sturdy gal. The fear on her face as she fell is imprinted in my mind and something that will always haunt me. For that split second, I thought I would lose her forever. Not being able to help her haunts me. She and I were together at a brewery with some friends. One of them was talking about a trip he had planned up Como to the Blanca Little Bear Traverse. We did that one a while back, and I had some advice for him. For absolutely no reason, he looked at me and said, "Okay, bro, I'm not taking advice from a man who left his wife to rot on sunlight." Like,
Okay, so your friend's an evil villain. Why are they your friend?
yeah.
Like, that can't be the first instance of your friend saying something dickheadish like that.
Well, and then his way of thwarting that villain, though, is like, "Fuck you, dude, I'm out."
Yeah,
That's
it's
it.
like, am I the asshole for leaving this absolute monstrous villain? For leaving Lex Luthor? I about said Lex Luger. Lex Luthor at fucking the brewery? No.
Brewery's such a hard word.
Brewery? Yeah. Brewery.
Brewery.
It's like library. Just say library, dog.
Yeah.
It's a brewery. It's library.
library.
You go down to the library. I'm not a man who reads books.
Do I look like a learned man to you?
Yeah, I'm not very learnt.
All right, my wife immediately corrected him, but I was stunned. He thought it was hilarious and had a huge grin on his face. I didn't know what to say, so I just got up to get another drink, but ended up going outside. My wife came to find me and asked if I was okay. I was honestly very upset and said I'd like to go. She drove us home. You're not helping your case, bro. Like, I mean, I guess it's maybe he had more drinks, so it was the responsible, sober thing to do was to let her drive you home, but she's just the man in the relationship.
Yeah, I wanted to say it. Look, I'm not someone who's like gender rolling everybody and everything like that. But fuck, dude, you at every step of the way, you're like, I'm gonna take a step back.
Although I just figured it out. It's that whole situation. Like, he's a very skinny little guy and he likes the bigger gals. And so
That's what it was. Some people just aren't good in situations like that. I remember we were at a lake and there was a big dock everybody was playing on. We're all like drinking, pouring beer from the dock into like people's mouths, and then we take a picture, but not of the bottle, just like you could see the legs and then the beer come down. So everybody's picture
like
looks like they're
pissing.
getting pissed in the mouth. Yeah, they're just catching pee from their mouth, and we were having a good old time. Well, someone goes to push my brother in, and he tries to fight it, but the dock's really slippery. So he goes, and he's a big boy, from his
A
feet.
sturdy guy.
Yeah, he's a very sturdy. He's a very sturdy guy. He goes from his feet, turns sideways, and smacks his head on the dock, and then falls in the water. I'm back, like putting on a towel, telling this crackhead she can't play with my penis. Like I'm just like, get away from me. And I see it happen, and everybody just kind of like stands there and looks. So I have to like run down, jump in the water. As I jump in the water, which I only jumped feet first, I still smacked him forehead to forehead. So he was just in a terrible situation altogether. I get his big ass on the dock. I'm like, help me out, everybody. We get his big ass on the dock, and he is just like he just escaped death. And I'm like, dude, shut up, nerd. Well, you just fell in some water. You should have been able to help yourself out in this situation. Why are you even playing on a dock if you don't know how to swim that well? Get off the dock if you can't swim, bro. But I think because I worded it in that way, like he would look at that as a traumatic event. Like, I can't go near water because I almost died. But I'm just like, shut up, nerd. It wasn't that. You weren't that close to death.
Do you remember the Robin Hood Men in Tights movie?
No.
You never watched that one? That one was hilarious.
I don't think I've seen a singular Robin Hood movie.
It's like a straight up comedy, and it's got Dave Chappelle in it. I think it's like one of Dave Chappelle's first roles. But there's a guy, I think it's Little John, but he's like this huge dude. And
Because that's funny as shit.
Yeah, he falls into this tiny, it's like a stream, like no wider than this, like water about 2 inches deep. And he's like, help me, I can't swim. I can't swim, I'm drowning. Like just this huge dude in this tiny little creek, like not underwater at all. Like water's not even up. He's like, I'm drowning. I can't swim. Hilarious.
Yeah, my brother's like damn near here. He wasn't like 400 pounds. He was probably, 320, something like that. He's still a big boy, but he's tall as shit. He's like 6'4". So even though he was like 320 pounds, he wasn't like obese. But everybody calls him tiny. So, which I was just like, come on, man, that's like generic big boy nickname.
Yeah. Worked though. All right, so the issue. Our friend was expecting us to drive him home, and I didn't say anything or tell him I was going. I just left. Yeah, I think he could probably see that writing on the wall, though.
Just get a better friend. I guarantee you this is the guy in the friend group where they're like, fuck, you're bringing Stevie? Like, I don't want
to leave him out.
Yeah, like, but he's like, oh, that's why your daughter died in that fire. And I'm just like, bro, what the fuck? Like, that's villainous shit to say. It's not even, I thought when you first talked about the story, I was like, come on, pussy. He probably brings up a joke and remember that time you were scared for your life? Joking around, having fun, poking at him. But he's like the dude who couldn't save his wife and was leaving her to the buzzards out there in that desert on that mountain.
Like a pussy.
Like a pussy.
All right, so he texted me, where the fuck do you go, bro? And, bro, why are you ignoring me? And all that. He had to take an Uber home, which was very expensive. I asked him why he would bring it up about the accident when he knows how I feel about it. He responded with a bunch of images of emojis pointing and laughing. He said my hypersensitivity cost him money. He is out of work, so that is true. What are you doing at a brewery then,
He's
bro?
in between jobs, yeah.
He's got enough money for craft beer, like $7 a fucking beer, but can't afford his own ride.
Right, yeah, I can't Uber anywhere.
I'm in between jobs.
I had an Uber to my parents' house.
I still like classy ales, though.
Good God.
And that I needed to nut up and learn to laugh at myself. This is not typical behavior for him. I don't really hang out with guys who do all that bro stuff. He has historically been a nice guy. I also would not normally just abandon someone I had promised a ride. Am I the asshole for leaving him without a ride?
No, we have two people on the super opposite ends of the spectrum, too. Like, we got the guy who is just can't do nothing. If there is a dire situation, count him out because there's not a bit of help's coming.
He can go get help.
Yeah, he can go. He can absolutely. He's good at that.
He
Yeah,
can get somebody else that can help.
The wind picks him up as he's going to get help. And then you got this other guy on the spectrum who is just like, as soon as somebody says something that he doesn't sit well with him, he's just like, well, that's why your grandma got crushed in that trash compactor. I bet she was in there for hours, and I bet she was dying for your help, but you couldn't hear her because you were in the front of the trash compactor. How are you like, oh, what's my grandma doing? She's been back at that trash compactor for a while. I'm not even going to go check on her. It's your fault she's dead. You're a monster. Like, it's two people on the opposite ends of the spectrum.
So, writing in an edit. Thank you for the responses. I didn't want to bog down this post with the technical parts of what happened during the descent with my wife. Well, that's kind of details that people need.
Yeah.
I can carry my wife. That was not the sole issue. There was not a safe way for me to reach her and pull her up from where she was without help,
There was a safe way for a real man to do it.
Nor to get her from below or the side. The man who came through had additional gear that helped, on top of having more upper body strength. It was the combination, and I apologize for not making that more clear. I mean, his wife's safe, so I mean, all's well that ends well.
All's well that ends well.
All's things that ends things. So should we go with the controversial?
Yeah, do a controversial, and then I'll get into
I want to
the one I picked, and it's a fucking book, man. It's the best of Reddits are so good, but it's just like you got to get through so much stuff. And I think what I'm going to start doing is on these bigger ones, I'm going to avoid kind of some of the relevant comments unless they seem like super relevant.
I don't get why this is not at least for me, it's not a controversial take. It says, offer to get him a beer to apologize and take him somewhere even further away and bail on him. And when he complains, say, but then when he complains, say, can't you take a joke, bro?
Right. That's so good.
That is not controversial.
People on Reddit's like, you need therapy. God. Wow. If you're thinking of something that vindictive, you need therapy. But if this was a story about a screaming baby at a Walmart, they'd be like, you should have threw a frying pan at that little baby. How dare someone else's baby cry in public?
All right, this one's controversial. Every man owes it to himself to get strong enough to save the people you love should you need to. Gym is not just for the bros. Edit. This made fat, lazy Redditors very angry. Also, not the asshole, but get to the gym, bud. No reason not to.
One of my daughter's friends told her. One of my daughter's friends told her that my son was annoying. And he's like, shouldn't even bring him because he's just going to cry really loud. It's super annoying.
Wait, you're talking about your youngest?
Uh-huh.
Fuck that person.
And it made my daughter really angry. And I'm just like, Dad, you don't get angry about what people say. Because here's the thing about people in general, especially in school. Sit in your class and look at everybody in your class. Maybe 5% make something of their lives. And we're going to assume since this kid, because the kid that had picked on him, real greasy hair, he has bangs for some reason. We're just going to assume he's not going to do anything in life, okay? So if a do-nothing ass person takes the time out of their schedule to mock somebody like that, it's not something that you sweat over. It's the Dylan comments thing. You know, when we first started doing the podcast and Dylan read a comment that was mean towards Dylan, he'd be like, fuck, man, and I even looked at that episode to see where I had, and I'm like, don't do that because it is somebody, okay?
See, now I'm gonna get a flood of comments just to fuck with me.
Right, yeah. But those are out of love. Like, those are out of love. And I don't know. It's just, when I first started creating, someone would be like, this is dog shit, man. But then I saw, this is dog shit, and I see this is exactly what it's like. I fucking love this and shit like that.
And also, you go to the person that wrote "This is dog shit," and what did they do? What did they create? What
Nothing,
did they put out
not a
there?
thing,
Like,
yeah.
You're not getting a "This is dog shit" from somebody that's doing something.
I have done that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, it's so funny. I can't remember what exact video it was, but someone was like, "You give rich guy vibes. That's trying to seem like you're a blue collar worker." And I was like, what about my prison tattoo says anything about growing up in a stable household? But he was like, how about learn how to make content, learn how to write a joke, and then normally I don't give them no mind or anything like that. But there was like 63 comments under his comments. So I was like, oh God, my audience is eating them alive. They were absolutely, they had went to his content and then all they were doing was my bad, bro. Because what he did was his first video was like a skit and it had like 400 views on it. But he had done something to his friend. He was like, my bad, bro. But it's obvious he was trying to be funny. But it seemed like he was like literally apologizing to himself it was like, my bad, bro. Saying that to the TikTok viewers that watch this video. Like, that's what everybody was just like commenting on and shit like that. And I was just like, what
Well, yeah, but he wasn't like a great creator. Like, he wasn't somebody that you would look up to.
I respect him for punching up, though. That's fucking dope. Like, if you were just sitting there making dog shit And you're just like, this guy fucking sucks. It'd be like us making a short film, and then Martin Scorsese fucking have you ever seen like actual fucking Italians, dude? Like that's not that those are not mafia members. Not a single person did this right here. Oh, spicy meatball. No one did that.
Nobody sounded like Mario.
Guy, you give off guy who read books about the mafia. That's what you give.
Did you see the one where the guy made a movie based around the some of the Mexican cartel, and like a bunch of the people in the movie like died because like they did not get permission to make this movie about the cartel, and they started talking like some shit about it, and so like multiple people in that movie.
Yeah, first thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to make real movies about real gangs.
No.
We have a made up gang in our movie. We have a made up gang, and it's not.
Well, except for the KKK,
they're not known for defending themselves. You know what I'm saying? They're like, how can we hide and do this?
Gotta wear a costume.
Yeah. At no point, like if like an MS-13 member's out in public, they'll let you know that they are out in public too. They'll post on Twitter to their enemies that they're out in public and dare them to come. It's not like the KKK. The KKK, like I would have a little bit of respect for you guys if y'all had the wherewithal, like the gusto to be like, I'm out in public, black people, come say something. Because every time they've done that, like the one guy that was, he was in Minneapolis or some shit like that, and he was like, if you protesters really care, like come out and say something. Come out and say something. I bet you won't. And then I saw a compilation of him getting beat up.
Is that the guy that kicked over the ice statues?
Yeah, he goes out.
He like whiffed on the one and like.
And then it's just compilation, like 14 videos of him like crying for help and like the whole fucking crowd dragging him. And there's a thing though, if you don't say, hey, protesters, like come out and do something, say it to my face, they're not going to be violent towards you. But if you're like, hey, let's see if you're man enough.
If you're about it, let's
do they were like, yes, we are about it. We are absolutely about it. Because it is just 14 videos of him just help and getting like drug. And I'm of the mindset, it doesn't matter if we got, if there's a guy that I don't agree with politically out there doing his thing, I'm not going to fucking show any sorts of violence. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you say, hey, show me some violence, and then people show you violence, you can't then be like, look at the violence.
He asked for it. He asked
for the violence.
Specifically. He ordered it. He ordered it and then paid for it.
Waiter, I would like some violence, please.
He got what he ordered. Customer's always right.
That's right. Yeah. Look, you, if anything, they are very, they listen. They listened to what you wanted, and then they gave it to you. That's an upstanding person. I'll say, I, 29 female, recently discovered my boyfriend, 32 male of 4 years, has been keeping a blog mocking my business. We do have a trigger warning.
Uh-oh.
Listeners of the Two Daddies Judging Baddies podcast.
Judging Baddies.
We have a trigger warning.
Trigger warning.
If you get triggered by such things as racism, get the fuck off this podcast now, or you will be triggered.
I don't think you need earbuds for this one necessarily. Maybe.
Right. We don't know how far they're going to go on this. This is probably going to be a controversial post, as I know Reddit isn't very fond of any religions, especially not ones that aren't mainstream. That might be a weird way of putting it, so I apologize if that offended anyone. I really, truly don't want to. That is a funny thing about fucking atheists. Atheists will be like, wow, you love God? Fucking dork, fucking nerd. Your God's not real. Your God kills babies. Your God's a baby killer. Your God loves to just stab babies. And I'm like, bro, why are you so angry? I get. We all went through the indoctrination when we were kids, okay? Let the hate out of your heart, bud.
I tried to indoctrinate myself, and I couldn't. It wouldn't stick.
They took that religious hate out and then just put hate in, just regular, just full body hate. When my abuela died, I inherited the keys to her longstanding Botanica. For anyone who doesn't know what this is, it's a shop run by Latinos whose purpose is to sell religious things. Esoterica.
I know esoteric, but I don't know esoterica.
Esoterica things. I guess that's the
female version.
Yeah. There we go. We sell the 7-day candles you see at memorial sites, herbs, oils, statues, books, services, etc. These are all things I grew up surrounded by and things that meant the world to me. I love them. To me, the sense of Florida water and Hoyt's cologne are home. Get the fuck, stop. It's like, do you want to copy and paste and? Do you want to copy and? And this, your thumb was here for a minute. Do you want to copy this? No, I don't. I took business classes to run the shop properly, and it is a successful business. We profit off it nicely. We made some changes over the years, including services that you can't get at shops around us. We care deeply for all of our customers. I spend around 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. there every day, and it's like going to my other home. My boyfriend Thomas works from home. Wonder what race Thomas is. He does tech work and things like that. He has always been a huge supporter of my business because he knows how much it means to me. He knows it's a part of my cultural heritage, my life, and my ancestors and family. He also knows that I do not 100% believe in the things we do. I believe in many of them, but I am not hard-boiled religious and don't adhere to many religious rules. That's enough backstory. Thank God. That was a lot of backstory.
Three more paragraphs.
Yeah, we only had 3 more paragraphs of backstory to get through. Well, the other day I made us some breakfast. He finished very fast and went for his morning jog. I asked him if I could use his computer to do a few things since it was right there and I'm a slow eater. He agreed, turned it over to me, and left on his run, and I got to work. I just wanted to do a few accounting type things and also do some research for an upcoming trip we have to Havana. But when I opened his browser, several tabs were open. So I clicked to a different browser so as not to disturb, since I never know what's work and what's play with him. The other browser had one thing up, the blog. I noticed he didn't use the name of the shop, but there was a clear picture of it, and underneath there were probably 50 entries so far. I didn't go through and read them all because after I saw the first one, I got the idea. I got the idea clear as day. He was making fun of it, all of it, everything. My heart shattered. He made fun of the customers of some of the products we have. One of the things we are known for is an extensive collection of candles for different saints, orishas.
Don't know that one. Yeah.
I am so sorry, Hispanic people. And figures. He mocked some of those things and the candles and the novenas.
I guess.
What broke my heart the most was that he made fun of one of the figures who I like the most, who I don't want to mention because I don't want to offend. I kept a small home altar to the figure to tend to it carefully with love. He makes fun of the altar and talks about how nonsensical it is and everything. The comments range from nothing to spam to dedicated followers who talk about his crazy girlfriend, how I'm absolutely nuts and he should run away. Who would believe in any of this? Apparently, it's a lot of people and things like that. I was so stunned and absolutely hurt that I had to check how long ago he made it. I saved the address and read through all of it while I was at work and cried. I don't know how to address him with this. He's been keeping the blog for 2 years now. My heart is shattered because our relationship has been nothing but love and smooth sailing, excitement and joy. He never shared my spirituality with me, and it was never something that I requested of him. I even keep my altar out of view of respect for his own preferences. What do I do? How do I come back from this? To me, it's not just about the spirituality. I have grown up hearing people laugh at it and call it kooky and made up, strange and all of that. But as it's my grandmother's business, it is my ancestry and it's my heritage. To me, he is mocking all of those things directly.
What do you do?
What do you do? Like, what a douche thing to do. Maybe, and this could be the case, he wants to be an entrepreneur, you know what I'm saying? An entrepreneur. And you're out there being a better entrepreneur. So he's all like, in his feelings and stuff like that. And maybe that's why he mocks it.
It's so wild because I get accused of mocking my wife's plant hoarding situation because she makes content about me criticizing her for her plant addiction. But it's literally her making up that I'm making fun of her for her plant addiction. So like I guess I could create a blog and just talk about it.
What if like she has a devout follower that's like, now I'm going to murder her husband because he does not believe in her
Doesn't
plants.
respect it.
Like he doesn't respect plants. Plants are they only eat meat
I
because
like how you were going to join those two words together, respants.
yeah.
We could just come up with a new language of just we cut out the end of one word and the beginning of the next and just try to decipher it.
So I'm going to assume, because there were some relevant comments, but we can assume that the relevant comments are, hey, your boyfriend's a douchebag.
He's a terrible
Yeah,
person,
he's a terrible person. You should probably leave him.
I like this one, though. So I found your blog. It's a good way to start the conversation. Like, let him explain himself. Like, what's the deal with this?
Hey, that blog you got, yeah, where you mock the business and my heritage and all that stuff. Well, what is that?
Or you could just be like, hey, I saw you have a blog. What's that about?
Yeah, but you do what's that about?
Or you could just do it in a genuinely, What's that about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, what you
Can I
talking
look
about?
at it? Can I subscribe to it?
Yeah, can I? Yeah, yeah. What's
wanna
the
see your
address?
writing.
I didn't save it. I want to see. I want to see your writing. I bet it's really cute. Oh God. And she's like, oh, it's about porn. It's a porn blog. So we have an update. I had my heart set on not just getting up and leaving. There was some things that we needed to talk about. So when I got home 2 days after I made that post and had time to think about it, I confronted him. I started reading one of his posts off to him. He asked me how I found it, and I was honest and told him. He started getting annoyed and asked me why I was snooping. I wasn't. And then he started up with his defense before I could even get a word in. He told me that he always had a hard time understanding how I could be a part of something where there was no logic behind it. How could I take money from anyone knowing that that stuff is fake and everything? I let him say what he needed to say. I asked him, is that how you really feel? And he said yes. And he was happy to finally get it off of his chest. He just insulted me, my beliefs, my family history, all of it in the span of 20 minutes. I told him if that's how he feels, he needs to leave. The place we live in was mine originally. He just moved in after we were dating for a while because it was easier. I didn't want to have to stoop that low, but living with someone who thinks that little of what I do and my business, the business that supported our very comfortable lives for all this time, isn't something I can compromise on. See, I doubled down on she has a successful business, and he's like, oh, I'm going to be an entrepreneur too. And then he's just like, why won't anybody buy my rocks? Why won't they buy my gym supplements? Fuck. He asked me if I was breaking up with him because of this, and that it was his right as an American with free speech to do what he's doing, and that I'm trying to censor him like all religious nuts do.
People confuse that so much. You are allowed to say whatever you want. That does not absolve you of consequences.
Repercussion, yeah. It doesn't.
There are things that are going to happen after you say something stupid, especially to the person that is fucking putting you up and taking care of you and paying your bills and all that other stuff. If you say some stupid shit, you're probably not going to like what comes afterwards.
Also, if you have like crazy ass ideas and you're spewing them out in public and somebody shoots you, that person they go to jail too. But
it doesn't make them right.
Yeah,
but,
you're not
but
free.
You asked for it.
Yeah, you're not free from somebody doing something from it. They're not free from their actions. Like you could say anything you want to say, okay? But if the job you work for is like, fuck, that makes us look stupid, and they fire you, that's the job. Like the job can be like, hey, we want to be represented by people who represent us well.
Yeah, and it's different if you're saying, like, if you say some stupid shit in a room with some people, it's a lot less likely that your employer is going to back the person that says you said some stupid shit. However, if you put it out on the internet and everybody sees it and it's like out there for everybody, most likely it's probably going to have some blowback. And you're like,
people love putting it on Twitter, man. People love to just be like, I'm going to tweet this. Ain't nothing wrong going to come of that. And then they're like, what? I got fired for saying
15 N-bombs. And
yeah, God, I'm going to Africa and I make a witty post about black people in malaria. I'm losing my job for that. God.
So sensitive.
I cannot believe what I was hearing, so I just asked him to leave. Over the next days, he collected his things. And when he got out his last box, he told me that he would not come back and that I could bet he would still be posting on his blog about my shop. I think that's the last thing I said to him was to have fun with his 15 blog readers. I'm really heartbroken over this. It's very sad it came to this. It's going to be a long time before I try dating again.
Imagine that being your burn, though. It's like, I'm still going to write my blog. Like,
hers is fucking nasty, though. Fucking have fun posting to your 15 blog readers.
Imagine being that guy, though, and thinking that, like, after you break up with homegirl, there's no more connection to this religion or anything anymore, but she has enough space in your head that you're going to continue your blog about her shop and the people that follow that stuff.
Snarked her. Fucking snarked the shit out of her, bro. I am the Snark King. All right, so Dylan's going to get the next story ready.
I was going to read one of their controversial comments.
Oh, yeah, do that.
I was with OP right through until the boyfriend made a very good point. If she doesn't actually believe in all this stuff, then she really is profiting off of people's pain in some way, and it is really questionable ethically. She's selling things she doesn't believe in to people that are desperate. For example, she's selling herbs that are supposed to heal people and trinkets that are supposed to please the saints so that they bless people who are putting their faith that their partner's terminal cancer, again, just an example, will be miraculously healed by these herbs and by these saints.
Not gonna lie, Chad Point, but that's what we're talking about. I mean, it's not a terrible, like an awful, terrible take, but it's still her heritage and all that stuff. Like, and she believes in some of it. She's saying, I don't believe in everything, but because of like, you know, her culture and everything like that, she's carrying everything that, because she said, I don't believe in some of the stuff. She didn't say, I don't believe in any of this.
Well, yeah, but like, I mean, if you don't believe in the Bible, but you sell Bibles, like people are buying Bibles, like you're not a terrible person for selling a Bible if you're an atheist. Like that's
Right.
not a terrible thing. You are simply selling something that somebody wants, period.
Kinda. If you're just like, fuck, they're gonna buy this because they're, you know, delulu about this religion.
Well, if you're like prescribing it, if they come in and they're like, oh, my partner's dying of cancer, what should I use to.
prayer.
Yeah. But like, if she's the one doing that, but I don't know that necessarily just having the shop and selling the herbs, like those people probably know which ones they have to go get for whatever saint they're trying to please. Like,
Also, too, if that's how you feel, you could bring that up way better in a conversation and be like, hey, you know, why do you, you know, necessarily sell some things that you don't believe in?
yeah, I think it's just wild that like you would be so adversarial with your partner's like livelihood.
That keeps you comfortable.
Yes.
You have a good life.
You have a place to stay and she takes care of you. And
I don't know what it is about just like, it's got to be like dudes that have little dicks. That's the only thing I could think about. When a guy is that, like, he's like, fuck, I got a small penis and she makes more money than me. That's why I'm like, hey, babe, I wish you made $1 million a year. I would stay home. I would know my role in this relationship.
I will shut down my blog about your business.
Yeah, there will be no blog. The house will be spotless. You will receive some wee-wee whenever you want it. I'm here. I'm taking care of the kids. I got you.
If you want to give up the wee-wee entirely and I just got to do cunnilingus all the time.
Right. Some dudes are just like, oh, man, my girl's outdoing me. I gotta make a blog.
All right, so am I the asshole for fixing my daughter's car when her boyfriend said he'd handle it?
I think we've done this one before.
No, I think that one was the one where she left her car at somebody's place and they fixed it without her.
Is this the one about the boyfriend keeps saying that he'll do it and then the dad does it? I might have just read that.
I think you
one.
might have just read it because I don't think we've done it on the podcast.
Fuck. If we done it on the podcast, guess what?
Second time.
Second time.
So good, we did it
It'd
twice.
be funny, too, if someone was like, I remember this, and they go back and find it, and then we have a different take than last time. It just changes up based on how we feel that day.
All right, so my daughter, 21 female, and I have always been pretty close. She moved in with her boyfriend a couple months ago. It was a little tough seeing her move out, but I know she's an adult and building her own life. She drives an old Corolla with a lot of miles on it. A couple of weeks ago, she mentioned the steering wheel had been shaking when she got up to highway speeds, and sometimes the front end would shudder when she braked. She told me her boyfriend said he would take care of it. Another week went by, and it still hadn't been looked at. Last weekend, she came to my place and said it was getting worse and it was starting to make her nervous to drive. So I took it out for a quick drive, and sure enough, the wheel was shaking pretty good around 60 miles per hour, and it shuddered when I hit the brakes. I pulled the front wheels off in the driveway, and it was pretty obvious the front brake rotors were warped and the brake pads were worn unevenly. I ran to the parts store, grabbed new rotors and pads, and swapped them out that afternoon. Took a couple of hours, and after that, the car drove smooth again. My daughter was really happy and thanked me a bunch. To me, it wasn't a big deal. I've worked on cars most of my life, and she's my kid. Yeah, solid dad.
Yeah. Oh, I don't want my daughter to die. And, you know, I would even look at it as, the boyfriend refuses to do it. It's just like, hey, I don't want my daughter driving around in a car that's shaking. I'm going to go ahead and fix this for her. So,
And I had the time and the ability to just take care of it
I love
now.
my kid. Yeah.
A few days later, she and her boyfriend came over for dinner. At one point, he pulled me aside and told me I shouldn't have fixed the car.
I just smacked him in the face right there. I'm going to smack him in the face. Like, it's okay that, you know, this should not even be a thing. This shouldn't be a thing right here. I'm not looking down on you for not immediately getting up and fixing the car and everything like that. You probably have shit to do. You're a grown-ass man. But as soon as you pull me aside alone, because that's when people, you know what I'm saying, that means something to me.
I mean,
if
I don't know. That's more respectful, though, at the same time.
It is more respectful. Here's the thing, though. If somebody is talking shit, okay, if they're talking shit in a crowd of people, I know that person's probably just showing off. If somebody pulls you aside to talk shit, that's some personal shit. So now everything I'm hearing, I'm going to take personally. If it's something I did that's my fault, I could be a man and say, fuck, I apologize to you personally. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know that disrespected you or whatever. I'm cool with that. But if you say, hey, you shouldn't have fixed your daughter's car. Now we're in a personal situation. I know that this person pulled me aside. They have a little bit of gusto in their body to pull me aside alone and say, hey, I didn't like that you did that. I got to smack you to now get the dominance in that situation. So you understand, pick your words carefully from here on out.
So which way is the way to do it then? This kid has no way of talking to you.
I say don't talk. If you talk shit to somebody.
He didn't talk shit. He just pulled him aside and said he shouldn't have fixed the car. He didn't call him an asshole. He didn't tell him.
That's a dumb take. We're coming from a macho point of view right now.
You're coming from a macho point of view. Like
no.
he's talking about taking care of his girl, which is something that he should be trying to do. And you're going to pop him in the mouth because he says that he was going to do it.
He gonna learn. He gonna learn. That's just
So which way is the way that he doesn't get popped in the mouth and still say it? Hey, I can take care of her. I got this.
I guess at the dinner table. I don't know.
In front of everybody.
Yeah, because you coming off.
So
from
he
a goofy,
questions your manhood.
You have a goofy point of view right there.
How?
No, not you. I'm saying the guy has a goofy point of view. Just don't even bring it up. This is not something you have to bring up. You don't have to say, "Hey, I got her. I did something for you." You can be like, "Hey, man, thank you." This is how you start that off. Hey, man, thank you for fixing your daughter's car. Next time I'll do it. I'll make sure that I do it in a faster manner to make sure it gets done as to not put your daughter at risk. That's what you say. You say thank you in a situation where somebody did something for you and your girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? They did something for y'all in a relationship. That car's probably important, jobs, everything like that. The dad did something for them.
Yeah.
Out of the goodness of his heart, not saying no slight on the boyfriend. And now the boyfriend's saying, hey, man, I feel some type of way because you fixed this car. Instead of saying, thank you for doing that. There was something on his plate. The dad went ahead and did it because he had time.
That's a learning lesson without having to beat his ass for it.
He's not getting his ass beat. He's getting popped in the mouth. So next time he understands, hey, maybe I should think about the situation from multiple point of views before I pull somebody alone in a private setting.
You're going to pop him in the mouth, and then he's going to fight back. And then, yes, the two of you are going to tussle to the point of...
If somebody pulls you alone, though, this is what I'm saying. If somebody pulls you alone, they have that strength in their heart. You know what I'm saying? It's not a situation of that guy's talking shit. I know he's not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? He pulled me alone and said he has a problem with something.
See, I take that as a respectful move of you're not going to just sit here and have this shit talking episode in front of everybody. Like if you and your wife are getting into it about something, it's better if you go do that together on the side in private, not in front of everybody. It's not an event that needs to happen in front of everybody. He doesn't need to do this in front of his girlfriend and his daughter. It should be a private conversation. Like, hey man, I feel like you kind of stepped on my toes. I was going to take care of that this weekend, blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely. If I did a shitty thing, not if I did something good for somebody.
I get it. And then you can explain it to the kid while he's out there rather than pop him in the mouth for saying that you shouldn't.
But he's already pulled you alone. So now you're taken aback because you did something nice. Okay. So you're like, why? We're not arguing, by the way. We're having this conversation because in my brain, this feels legit.
I'm fucking arguing.
This feels legit. If he pulls you alone and then he's like, I don't like that you did this. He needs to be thankful.
We haven't even gotten to that. Literally, you haven't let me finish what he said to him.
We're going to get to that.
Other than he pulled me aside and told me I shouldn't have fixed the car. That's as far as we've gotten.
We're going to get to there. Okay.
And you've already popped him in the mouth.
But hear me out. All right. You believe in your mind that he should be thankful for this. So if I'm like, what do you mean? Like, I did something for y'all. You should be thankful. What if I say that and he goes ahead and pops me in the mouth?
You really think people are that aggressive that they're going to pop you in the mouth?
If you got that Neanderthal of a brain for somebody to do something for you and be like, I was disrespected by her father fixing, I'm a immediately assume this is a dumbass. He's got the Neanderthal genetics where he doesn't know when to not pop somebody in the mouth. That's why I got to pop him in the mouth.
That's the dad. If he's popping the kid in the mouth, he's a Neanderthal that doesn't realize that he doesn't need to pop him in the mouth.
Like he did something for them, and this guy has a problem with it. So I'm going to immediately assume your brain don't work. Your brain don't work that well.
He said it was his responsibility as her boyfriend to handle that kind of thing, and that by doing it myself, I stepped on his toes. I told him I wasn't trying to prove anything. The car was getting worse, and I just fixed it while she was there. Since then, he's been pretty short with me, and the vibe has been a little weird. My daughter says he feels like I undermined him. From my point of view, she's still my daughter, and if something on her car is unsafe and I can fix it in an afternoon, I'm going to.
That's what I'm saying, too. He still has a problem, even though the dad was like, yeah, I was just trying to help y'all out. He's short with him. He's like, fuck, he shouldn't have done this.
Yeah.
That's not the dynamic when you come into my house with my daughter. I knew her long before you did, buddy, okay? And I was helping my daughter out. And if you're going to be that much of a bitch, I'm going to tell him that, too. If you're going to be that much of a bitch to then take what I did for my daughter as disrespect because I want my daughter to be in a safe car, then I don't think you should be with my daughter because apparently she married a dumbass. You must got a tree trunk in your pants. Yeah,
they're not married.
Whatever. Girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. You must got a tree trunk in your pants because she did not get with you for the intellect. I'm going to tell you that. It's not the intellect part that she got with you. You're not going to be in my house being short with me, showing disrespect to me for something that I did for my daughter.
But what if that pushes your daughter away? Because
the step on the toes, that's what got me. Step on toes. Like, what are we talking about right here? Two people can love one person in vastly different ways. You know what I'm saying? And I, more than anybody, more than you ever think you could care for her safety, I care for her safety that much more.
Yeah. I think my take on it is like I wouldn't even have said what he said at the end there. I told him I wasn't trying to prove anything. The car was getting worse, and I just fixed it. I was just literally just say like I'm not gonna have her riding around in a beat ass car. So
right, yeah.
Like she came over, I had the time, I fixed it. Next time, get to it sooner, bud.
But as soon as you say that now, because even though the dad explained it in the most rational way you could explain it, he's still being short. So imagine.
I guess I'm just more of the type where I will wait for the aggression before I'm never the aggressor.
Right.
I'm always the person that, oh, okay, now you want to. Oh, we can.
Right. If I come off, you've seen it. If I come off in a dumbass way and you talk to me, I'm very receptive to it and I listen.
Yeah.
If I did something because I love my daughter, I want her to be in a good car, and her boyfriend's just like, I feel like you stepped on my toes, well, you're going to feel like I popped you in the mouth. That's what you're going to feel like.
It's going to feel like immediately.
That's what's going to happen. And then the crazy part is the being short with them. Now you're in my house being short with me. Like I got to feel like there's something uneasy happening in my dome, my place of residence.
So the most controversial comment, or the top rated controversial comment, is first mistake is your daughter living with a boyfriend.
Shut the fuck up, goober.
Second, time to have a conversation with the boyfriend about how he should look at taking care of your daughter. Explain what a daughter means to a father, and that expectation is presumed upon her beau. If he is not up for the task, time to find a new beau. Living together without formal commitment is mostly playing house, leaving one's options open if something better comes along. The OP does not state that they're a father. Huh?
Well, I don't know.
OP does state that they're the father.
Yeah,
my daughter.
That's a goofy goober right there.
Fuck.
That's a goofy goober.
Reddit. All right,
He must play house. He's in his house alone, nobody. But he was like, if I did have a kid, this is how I would look at it. Because once she lives with a man, that man needs to have all responsibility. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna call my daughter every motherfucking day to be like, hey, are you okay? Shout out to my daughter's boyfriend. All right. When the dude said that, he was like, hey, why don't you shut the fuck up, bro? Like, he literally cannot help it. And I was just like, listen, I hate that.
I don't like you.
I don't like the idea of, and I get it. Like, it's just, it's a middle school thing. It's not like a fucking a serious thing. Okay, whatever. As a dad, I still don't have to like it. It's not my place. All right. It's not my place. It's my place to hate it. But it's like that kid just always says stuff. And I'm just like, fucking upstanding dude.
So another controversial comment is, it might have been better to do it together, but it's fine. Not the asshole. Yeah, you invite the boy over and be like, let's work on these brakes together,
hey,
bud.
Since you want to be a lazy fucking turd with my daughter's safety, why don't you come over here so I can show you how it's done?
Another one is, you should be teaching her to fix her own problems instead of relying on men.
That is a good take, too. That's a damn good take.
It is so shitty, though, because like when a woman goes to a mechanic, 9 times out of 10, they try to fuck her over. They try to just like blow smoke and tell her that, this is wrong, and start creating things that they feel like she doesn't know enough about, so then they can take advantage and go ahead and rack up that bill. And that's fucked up. Like any service that does that, you're an asshole. Like when HVAC people go out and fuck over like elderly people and people that don't know how to like anything about their own system, and they're like, oh yeah, like you need a whole new system. No, fuck you, dude. Fix the thing. And
so that part that you're talking about that's broken, what does it do? Like, how does it work? What is the importance inside of the machine? And as soon as they explain it to me, I'm like, okay. I immediately go into another room. I start Googling.
Yes.
Like I start Googling. If I don't know anything, you can learn about whatever anybody's told you about something.
See, but when you hire a professional, when you are using somebody, a mechanic, a fucking HVAC, electrician, anybody that you are ensuring that they are the professional, they shouldn't be a snake oil salesman. Like that's the part is like you should be able to assume honesty, but especially in America in this day and age, it's like you should assume that person is probably a crook trying to fuck you over because they're going to. And like unfortunately, it's like most things, there's some bad apples and then there's a lot of good ones out there.
That's why I absolutely hated having a car that I was making payments on that has warranty, because they're like, the Toyota I had, if the brakes went bad, I changed the brakes.
Yeah.
Like I took and learned it. They're like, if you remove this fucking casing right here, your warranty's void. And I'm just like, that's stupid. And it puts you in that predicament where now you have to take it to this guy. And this guy's just like, well, for labor, because it takes this amount of time. And I'm just like, well, I guess I gotta, because I can't then look up how to do it and change anything or they're going to void the fucking warranty on it.
Yeah.
So next car I get, dude, is just straight beater mobile.
See, I almost tried to sell you a Miata, but
No, I wouldn't have got that. I'd have bought your truck. Fuck yeah. Heartbeat. Would have bought that, but not a Miata.
yeah, I don't think I'm going to get rid of the truck. I've had that thing since I was 19.
And who better to have it than your boy that you see every day? You get to see the truck every day. Like you would get to go out there and talk to him. I'd let you pet him. I'd let you still drive us around.
My wife's
Like if we went to Aldi or something like that,
ahead,
I'd still let
driver.
you take us. Like,
Yeah, my wife says it's a girl and that I have to name her, but I never did. I don't name cars.
no, we don't go that far. We do refer to him as like she and stuff like that, but
Yep.
I don't know why.
No, I almost sold that truck to my buddy for like $1,000 2 years ago,
Sold.
3 years ago.
Give me that deal. Give me
And
that deal right now. I'd get
then
it.
once the transmission went out on the production van, and then my wife's transmission went out on her van,
Back to back.
I still had that thing sitting in the driveway, and I was like, it just fucking leaks oil. I'll just keep
You see what
topping off
happened
the
was
oil.
you got into a position where you were doing all right, and then life's just like, oh, you doing all right? Okay, well, engine failure, yeah, transmission goes out. Are we still doing all right?
Yeah, that's true. The transmission in the work van costs like $8,000.
Yeah, that's life.
It's insane.
All right, so the one I picked is I purposely spilled a giant glass of wine on my mother at my brother's wedding.
I read this one. I like this one.
Last month, my brother got married to the woman he has spent the last 7 years of his life with. My sister-in-law is a wonderful woman. I am more than happy for the two of them. Well, my mother, being the venomous demon that she is, decided that one of the most important days in her oldest child's life must be made about her in some way.
Isn't that so great? Like, that's not her mother-in-law. Like, that is her mother. She's calling a venomous demon. Like,
Right.
that is, like, it says something about who your mom is if you're willing to call her a venomous demon.
I guarantee you this is the type of child, too, that when the brother's like, yeah, and I invited mom, she's like, oh, why would
Did you
invite
have
her?
to?
Yeah,
You didn't
why would
have
you
to.
invite her? She showed up in an incredibly frilly white bridal dress. Her dress was much more of a bridal dress than the bride was wearing that day. She was the talk of the whole event for all the wrong reasons, I mind you. Yeah, nobody's going to see that. I'm like, what is this kind of doing? What the fuck is she doing? That's her. This is her kid getting married. Like everybody's just like sitting there talking shit. She's just sitting there just.
It's about me.
Yeah,
This
why-
whole thing's about
Why
me.
does everybody talk shit about me? I'm just a God-fearing woman. My brother didn't even know if she would show up after a previous meltdown of hers. He also didn't even know what to do when he walked down the aisle to see her sitting in the front row. My sister-in-law looked livid as well when she saw her. After the lunch, things only got worse, and I knew my mother was going to ruin his day. So I decided to take one for the team. We were served glasses of red wine at lunch and asked for mine to be filled to the brim. I walked over to where my mother was sitting and tripped, dousing her perfect white dress. Look at me, the family drunk. Just ruined her dress.
Whoopsie.
Whoopsie. Yeah.
I'm just a silly gal.
Do you remember that paint program they had in school? I don't know if you remember this, but when you undid something, it would go, whoopsie.
I remember the sound, but
I remember that. It was just like when you did the whoopsie, I was like, oh, childhood memory just hit me in the brain. No, Papa.
that's such a solid like Chad. What do you call a girl that's a Chad?
Chad.
But like just taking one for the team and being like, oh, sorry, mom, I'm just a drunk wino.
Yeah.
My
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, I can't live. I start shaking if I don't have it. I'm sorry. I started to shake a little bit and I tripped and got your pretty wedding dress ruined. I nearly got on my knees groveling to apologize as she missed the lunch and most of the first half of the reception driving back home. A 4-hour trip to change into the dress my brother had originally bought for her. Lucky for me, No one cared but my mother. The maid of honor even ended up slipping me a text right after the scene telling me that I deserve an Oscar for my performance. I didn't plan on coming on the internet to brag about destroying a bridal dress and causing a scene at my brother's wedding, but I had just received a bottle of red wine from my sister-in-law with a card saying, "Enjoy the best bottle of wine I could find for the best wedding gift you could have given us." I fucking love that, man. That made
Such
my
a
nips
happy
hard.
family.
Yeah, that is. Except for mom. And
Yeah.
you know, mom was such of a dick growing up that everybody in the circle had to become super close to thwart the bitch.
Maybe she did it on purpose, though, to develop that bond and that relationship. She sacrificed her children's love to ensure that they love each other.
Let me tell you, can I take a minute to talk about something that's been going on in my life? I just saw my mom had called me right before the podcast, and it's getting on my fucking nerves. I don't like to be involved in any family thing because it's always somebody weird in my family doing something weird to another family member, and then I got put in the middle of this. So my aunt, and we've talked about her before, okay? My aunt wanted to get my mom and grandma's passport so they could go on this cruise, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Getting a passport is expensive for
And
two
a pain
people.
in the ass.
Yeah, and a pain in the ass. So she was like, all right, I'm going to send you the money. My mom talks to me. She's like, we don't know how to do it. Will you do it? I'm like, sure, I'll do it. So again, talk to my aunt. She's like, all right, I'm going to send you the money. She was like, do you have Cash App? I was like, yeah, I'm going to send you my Cash App. Nothing for 2 weeks. Their cruise, month and a half away. I don't know if you know how passports work, but
Takes at least, or like can take up to 6 weeks.
6
like,
weeks, yeah. So
easily.
I'm like, we're already crunch time. I got to go ahead. We have to do like the express and everything like that. Does not talk to me for 2 weeks. I'm like, update, question mark. Hey, question mark. What we doing? Question mark. Nothing. So then last week she was like, all right, we're going to do the expedited thing. Do you have Venmo? I was like, no, I don't have, or no, it wasn't Venmo. It was Zelle. I have
Zelle,
Venmo and Cash App. And I sent her that. Okay. Nothing. And my mom just called because I guarantee you she's going to be like, hey, you got an update on that? The only thing that's a saving grace in this is that she has done the cruise thing before with my mom and grandma and then kind of ghosted them. So my mom's like, I think this is just another one of her attempts to, but it puts me in a bad spotlight. Like I am the one who is inactive and not doing anything. And also I just don't want to be a part of this at all. But I was like, look, I'll do a deed for my mom and grandma, whatever. And it's just stupid.
Well, you just make millions of dollars. So, I mean, you just foot the bill.
Okay. Do not have enough in my own personal to just be like, oh, I'll do it and then pay you back. Or you pay me back. You know, that's not a...
Well, and that's the thing, though, is like, if somebody says that they're going to do something, be a person of your word and do the thing. Like, that's it. Like, you're not an asshole as long as you say you're going to do it. So, like, if she says she's going to foot the bill for it, fucking do it. Send the money. Be done with it. Like, that's all you got to do. And she's leaving you high and dry to then take the fall for being the one that's...
But my mom knows. My mom being one of the primary obstacles I had growing up did this just complete flip. And it's like old lady trying to get in heaven. I don't know. Because old lady trying to get into heaven, you could be like, this is fake, but I don't know what happened if her brain just like became normal. I don't understand what happened. But never asked me for money. Like in this whole situation, she's like, this is your aunt trying to fuck me over. Or just making a promise to your grandma and she's not going to follow through with it. The type of person to never ask me for money. And then I go over there and like, she's trying to like give me stuff and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to accept this and all this stuff. And she's like, well, I know you have it hard right now, but you're going to make it one day, baby. And I'm like, who are you?
See, once again, she was the evil person when you were a kid. She was hard to get along with.
She just wasn't there. Like, it's not even evil. And I get it. The shit, her childhood,
way worse than
y'all got to
yours.
think the person that, you know, we joke about a lot on this podcast, she grew up with, like 100% in that household from baby to adult. So you can only imagine the horrors she went through.
And was around him all through.
All through. And you can't imagine the horrors that she went through. My mom growing up did drugs, slept a lot, shit like that. She was not an active source of my trauma. She didn't prevent any of it. You know what I'm saying? She wasn't there to shield me from any of it. But, you know, I have a bunch of days where I'm just like, I don't want to get out of bed. Like, fuck, I don't want to get out of bed. So I see how hard it was. And I can, you know, I can understand her shit way better than I can like stepdad shit. I know his family. His family's not fucked. He didn't have to go through a lot of trauma and shit like that. He just grew up and was like, I'm gonna be a turd. What if I was a turd? What if I signed on to take care of a bunch of kids and just did drugs?
Well, and then actively abuse. Like, not like that's the part that blows my mind is to be stepping in as a parent, but then not step in as a good parent, but to step in as like a shitty version of a parent still.
The funniest shit was I remember I was like 5 years old when I met the guy, and my mom's braiding his hair, and we're sitting there talking, and he's just like, yeah, I don't spank. I came from a household that does not spank. And he legit came from a household. It didn't matter what you did. His little brother was caught smoking spice on a bus and got suspended for like 20 days in school. The first bad thing he ever did. And I'm like, oh, shit, so I can't come over this weekend? He's like, no, you can. Yeah, they don't. She's like, yeah, he never does anything like this. Why would we even punish him? Why would we take something away? He never does anything like this. So I was like, what a fucking understanding group of people. What happened with you, bud? It's the drugs. Like, fuck, you get the drugs in your system, and then you ain't got drugs, and I guess you're angry. I don't know.
I mean, were you guys bad kids? Like, I mean, were you?
Fuck, yeah.
Okay, so, like, I'm not saying that it makes it right what he did, but, like, you were not raised in a, we don't spank and we talk things out household either. So, like, it didn't start, and then he comes in, and then
within a week, that motherfucker was whooping us.
Yeah.
Within a week, he was whooping us. Well, and the shitty part too is during that time, like I was, a dare line, and I was straight A's. If I got a B, I never got a B. It would ruin me. Like I was on top of my shit, and still just because of being so, I guess, burnt out with the older ones, like when the little one did anything, he got to, and I'm just like, this is fucked.
Well, you're easy to beat on.
So then eventually I was just like, bro, it don't matter what the fuck I do, I'm going to get beat. And that's when I started, slowly shifting into more of a turd myself too. So,
well, yeah, my dad got, so my dad's older brother was an absolute shit stain. They kind of let him run wild. And then my dad ended up catching all the ass whoopings because they're like, you're not going to grow up to be like your brother. Well, maybe fucking whoop his ass when he does the stupid shit instead of whooping my ass for not doing it. Like, whenever they'd get in trouble, my dad would catch the ass whoopings for it. So, like that's one of those things is like your older brothers being shits doesn't mean you're a shit. Like you have a chance to save you and not beat the shit out of you and teach you the non-spanking way, the talking way. The older ones, it's harder to like turn the ship around.
Right.
But like with you, he had an opportunity to be like, so that you don't grow up like them, I'm going to take you under my wing and teach you. He's just like, no. Whoop your ass too.
Beat the fuck out of them. Not tell them really, you're such a fuck up. Like then that's it. Just like, okay, how did I fuck up? How can I fix not fucking up? What are the consequences of me fucking up in life? What I had to live for? And really, like it's just like as a kid, if you're in an environment like that, you don't have the future thought of if you're in a good household and you talk through things and you let kids know about like life and stuff like that, what's going to happen afterwards. I didn't have any of that. It was just like, fuck, I got to get through this. This is the obstacles I got to get through today. I didn't have the luxury of thinking about life after I got out of all this shit. It was like, how the fuck do I get out of all this shit?
How do you survive it today?
Yeah, how do I survive today? And then how do I survive tomorrow? I don't have this, grand idea of stuff. So,
well, see, that was the thing with me and my siblings is like my brother and my sister, they weren't like terrible kids, but they were bad enough that like they caused a lot of grief in the house. And like my dad and mom never hit or anything like that. But when it came down to like the effective part of the no spanking of like the sitting through a lecture and hearing about like why'd you decide to do the thing that you did to fuck up? Okay, how would you do that in the future? Like sitting through those lectures and stuff, they would just consistently be like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. And then like ignore my dad. And then I watched all that stuff happen and I was like, wait a second. So if I just sit here and listen and then he gives me the lesson and then I repeat that lesson back to him and be like, that's what I did wrong. I'm not going to do that again. You're pretty much out of jail. Like you were let free from the prison. But my brother and sister would be like, I didn't do anything. It wasn't my fault. And so then they would constantly get grounded. And I was just like, wait a second. I just learned the lesson, like the moral of the fucking story at the end of it. And I repeat that back and I'm free. I was like, got it. Good.
Oh, yeah. If you was in trouble with him, it wasn't a fucking thing you could say. You could be completely not in the wrong. And that's it. You could have not been there. If he thought you were there, you getting it too. You getting into it. So here's a funny way of looking at something. All right, this is a good joke. But you know, growing up and having all these people, it's like the most terrible person in my childhood was the person I could rely on to get like stuff that I needed. My grandpa. If I needed a ride somewhere, if I needed, you know, shoes for school, whatever, I could rely on him. I could go and crush cans in his fucking yard and make money and shit like that. And it's because he never got none. And if you think about it, when a guy's trying to get with a girl, he's like giving gifts and being this Casanova and shit like that.
Nicest guy.
That's right. He was being the nicest guy because he wanted it. And I never gave it to him. That's why he did all that
You're
shit.
the one that got away.
He was like, fuck, man, I've done all this stuff for him. Why? What's the way to his heart?
Just let me tickle your butthole.
Yeah, that's it. Just one time. But if I'd have done that, then I would have had nobody. So, way to look at it right there.
You friend zoned your grandpa.
I did. I friends on my grandpa. The fuck yes. Bam. I need a shirt that says I friends on my grandpa.
That's so fucked up.
That's so good. I friends on my grandpa. Fuck yeah. All right, so you get the last one.
The cherry on top.
The cherry on top. Pick a Am I the Asshole? Because yeah, we're over an hour now.
All right, that's a long Am I the Asshole? We'll go one more down. See
Fuck
if we
me.
got
I got to
All
make
right,
that
I got
shirt.
it.
I
That is a
friends on my
good one.
grandpa. Yeah. Would that be a bestseller if we made a shirt?
I don't know.
That's such a fucking unique thing to fucking do.
All right, so am I the asshole for asking a woman at work to stop being so weird about taking a caramel?
Where's that at?
Oh, it's towards the top.
For taking a caramel?
Yeah, caramel. I always say
It's caramel. You said it right the first time.
it's interchangeable for me, but it's 5 days ago. It's got 14,000 likes. I figure it's a good one. I like to have snacks in my office, and I enjoy having something for people to take when they come in for a visit. I have a container of chocolate caramel thins open for anyone to take.
I would put that to the test.
I take them all.
Yeah, she would be like, I got to say, like, she would be like, I have to pull Mike aside and talk to him. See, she wouldn't get batted in the mouth because I'm excessively eating her caramels.
Yeah, there's $15 a day you're eating out of there, dude.
See, if I'm in the wrong and she comes up and I'm like, oh, sorry, they're so delicious. And even probably talking to me right now is not going to stop it because you don't know
I'm
how
sorry,
addiction works. Yeah, you don't know how
I
addiction
don't mean
works.
to eat them.
Your brain starts, well, just one. And you had one like an hour ago. You can have another one.
So the problem is that when many of the other women in my office take one, they do this whole song and dance. Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, it's so bad. Oh, but I just love chocolate. Oh, it's so naughty. Stuff like this just annoys the crap out of me.
But I see it though. Oh, I shouldn't, but I'm gonna.
I'm just gonna.
That's what you should say. It's like, oh, I shouldn't, and she just, but you're gonna like.
Yeah. Take a candy or don't. But don't force me to participate in whatever weird self-deprecating thing you're doing, especially calling it, quote, naughty, like you're scolding a child. I always just smile blankly, and they will look at me like I'm supposed to give them permission. I finally had it yesterday when one of the women stood in the doorway and pointed and was like, oh, I love those caramels. They're so good, but I shouldn't. You're so bad for having these. I said, can you stop doing that? It's making me uncomfortable. She pretended to not know what I was talking about. I said, are you okay? You come in here and you act like you need my permission to eat a piece of candy. You keep calling it, quote, naughty, like you're a little kid. It's super weird behavior and makes me feel uncomfortable. So please, stop. She gave me a weird look and said she was just being silly and never mind. She left. I found out later on that she had said that I ripped her head off and warned one of the other women who's always doing all that, oh, I'm so bad crap to avoid getting candy from me unless she wants to be scolded. I'm not going to stop having candy out because there are some people who can do it without the whole song and dance. But am I really the asshole for just asking her to stop doing that? Ooh, I'm so bad. Ooh, crap.
Like, yeah, this is the 15th time I've heard it today, bitch. Maybe you do have a problem.
I don't think she's the asshole. Like, I mean, she could have been nicer about it, but yeah, you're playing a stupid little like fantasy game of like, oh, I shouldn't, so gross or so naughty, but you're acting like a fucking weirdo about eating a candy, and you're doing it in my office on a daily basis, so it is getting annoying. Like, she could have handled it better, but so the person adds an edit. Okay, I am clearly the asshole. I will take the caramels home with me today so I don't have to put up with this gross self-deprecating humor thing anymore. I thought I was doing a nice thing, but I can't deal with the drama from the people with body image issues. I don't think it's fair they bring that into my office, so I'll just take them home.
Yeah, I was looking to see if she got a lot of comments on that.
It's so wild, though, that people play that game.
Oh, my God. That's the same as someone's having a case of the Mondays. You're the asshole in the way you did. You did rip her a new one. Had you said, hey, when you do that whole song and dance, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm happy to have this out for people and have you take one. But hearing you put yourself down or talk badly about it or debate if you can have one makes it awkward for me. It would have been fine because you were being clear that behavior affects you. But you didn't. You called her behavior weird to the point where she felt scolded. No, you're being weird. You're not being. I don't look. That's if you have body issues, that's a you thing, dog.
Yeah.
That is you. I mean, I'm sorry that, women grew up in this whole like diet culture and shit like that. They are saying the quiet part out loud, essentially, that they've been told that they shouldn't have this and they're being naughty for having it, whatever. Just take a fucking candy because now you're putting me into your trauma and I don't want to be there. All right. I just want to have candies out. You're getting a candy. It's delicious. Eat it. All right. It's got caramel in it. Don't put me in this whole weird rigmarole that we have to do now where you're like all that. And I'm like, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. And I got to do that with 10 different people. Just take a fucking candy.
Yeah. When I put out my bowl of cocaine and you want to take a fucking little line, like, ooh, you're so bad. Yeah, sure. But like, just do the cocaine or don't. But do it and get the fuck out.
Someone said, this is how some people create connections with others through their own sense of humor. Nah, dog, be funny. Yeah, be funny.
Well, I think the thing, and somebody brought it up, was, but ugh, I shouldn't. You're so bad for having these. Like, no, you just criticized me for having a treat for you to come eat. And if I'm so bad, like, now you do get to hear me say, you're making me fucking uncomfortable because you're making this weird.
Everybody sucks here. It just feels so aggressive. What?
I mean, it was aggressive, but like rightfully so aggressive, kind of. After the 10th time in a day that somebody comes by and like, oh, I shouldn't. It's so naughty. You probably would get burned out on that.
Yeah, an asshole doesn't bring treats for people to enjoy, okay? An asshole, someone who's not an asshole can absolutely get annoyed with people acting fucking weird. Like, if that happened, you got to imagine there's probably 10 people that take a piece of candy. If 6 of these people are doing it every single day, twice a day, I have to see this 12 times a day. I'm going to think I'm in some kind of fucking Matt Damon arts type of fucking feature. Very artsy movie that Matt Damon's doing where everybody feels like they're doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Some kind of shit he would make when he's feeling himself. That's what I would feel like I'm in.
See, my thing is after this, I'd be like, I would go in there and be like, I'm just a big old fatty. I'm just going to eat your caramels because I'm a big old fatty.
Big old fat fatty. Fuck, I'm fat.
But like, I would just go in there and still eat like that.
The doctor even told me yesterday I shouldn't be having these, but I'm having them now because I can't control it. I'm so fucking fat.
Unless they told me that I couldn't eat them anymore, I'd be like, yep, okay, we'll play a different game. I just want the caramels. All right, so friend zoned your grandpa.
Yeah, dude, but tell me now look at this right here. We came out with a shirt that said, I friend zone my grandpa, okay, with a big underline under grandpa. And underneath that underline, it said, 2 daddies judging baddies. And people were wearing that shirt. Someone would look at that shirt and be like, what the fuck is 2 daddies judging baddies? I'm telling you, dude.
Man, I want to get out of the shirt game.
I do too. My God. I do too. But I think that I friends on my grandpa is we'll sell 1,000 of those. 1,000 I friends on my grandpa.
It's too good.
It is too good. I don't know if we got 100 comments of people saying, oh my God, I would wear that shirt, maybe we would come out with it.
I think you're the only one
I'd
that
have to
fits
sell
for it,
Dylan on it. Yeah, I have to sell Dylan on it. Oh God, yeah. What am I thinking? Like I'm Mike Braining this.
You're the only person
To where
that
nobody
friends him.
has this grandpa. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're like, I love my grandpa.
I mean, it's still a funny joke, but yeah.
God, it's such a good, but it's just a shirt that if someone saw that shirt, they'd be like, what the fuck does that shirt say?
Maybe we just make you go viral wearing that shirt.
Oh, that would be easy. Any talking piece I did, people would be like, what's that shirt say? What's that shirt say? That would immediately, anything I had to say.
So maybe that's the tact we go with first.
Maybe we should do that for like the podcast advertisement. Like, hey, check out the podcast. And the shirt says, our friends on my grandpa. We're making that shirt now. So we can do a couple.
We'll do a one-off, yeah.
Yeah, a couple of advertisements with that shirt on. All right, guys. Well, listen. Hopefully you didn't have to friend zone your grandpa and you just had a normal grandpa growing up. We love you so much, guys. We will see you next time.
Later.